I'd have liked Michelle Yeoh's Star Trek movie more if it answered a 20-year-old Enterprise mystery. When Paramount Plus announced Michelle Yeoh would headline a Star Trek Section 31 movie, it felt like a bold new chapter in the franchise's future. Yeoh's Philippa Georgiou, equal parts ruthless, vulnerable, and regal, was a breakout favorite from Star Trek Discovery. But while I'm excited to see her carry her own story, part of me can't help wishing that the movie would use her shadowy Section 31 connections to finally tie up one of the franchise's longest dangling mysteries, the enigmatic subplot from Star Trek Enterprise that fans have been debating for over 2 decades. Because as much as I admire Yeoh's charisma and the boldness of giving Section 31 a proper cinematic spotlight, Section 31 is also the perfect vehicle to answer the lingering questions left behind by Captain Jonathan Archer's prequel adventures. And if it doesn't, I'll walk away feeling like the movie missed its best opportunity. The mystery that Enterprise left behind. Star Trek Enterprise wasn't always beloved during its run from 2001 to 2005, but fans now look back at it with a softer lens. The show laid the groundwork for the Federation, offered intriguing prequels to Vulcan, Klingon, and Andorian lore, and experimented with serialized arcs long before Discovery made them the standard. But it also left several mysteries unresolved. The biggest of all? The temporal Cold War and the identity of the shadowy figure known only as Future Guy. Introduced in the very first episode, Future Guy was a time-traveling manipulator who guided the Suliban Cabal in their conflict against Archer's Enterprise. For 4 seasons, his identity was teased without ever being revealed. Was he a Romulan agent from the 29th century? A corrupted Federation officer playing both sides? Even a Section 31 operative? The writers never nailed it down before cancellation cut the story short. The result, Enterprise ended with the biggest narrative question mark in Trek history. Why Section 31 is the perfect key. Fast forward to today, and the Section 31 movie starring Michelle Yeoh promises to dive into the morally gray spy agency that's been lurking in Starfleet's shadows since the days of Deep Space Nine. Section 31 thrives in secrecy, manipulation, and agendas that never quite line up with Starfleet's bright utopian ideal. That sounds an awful lot like the behavior of Future Guy, doesn't it? Imagine if Yeoh's movie revealed that Section 31 had been meddling with time travel experiments long before the Federation existed. The Suliban's advanced genetic enhancements, the cryptic orders to destabilize Archer's missions, even the creation of the temporal Cold War itself. What if all of it tied back to Section 31's early attempts at controlling history? Michelle Yeoh's Georgiou, displaced in time after Discovery Season 3, could uncover those roots. The movie could finally connect Section 31's infamous meddling in the 23rd and 24th centuries to its even darker role centuries earlier. That would give fans both a resolution to Enterprise's dangling mystery and a foundation for why Section 31 has always been a step ahead of Starfleet. Michelle Yeoh's Georgiou as the bridge. Georgiou's character makes her the perfect person to tackle this revelation. In Discovery, she's been tossed through the multiverse and across timelines, experiencing both her native mirror universe and the Prime Timeline's history. By the time we last saw her, she was slipping apart at the seams due to temporal displacement, and the mysterious Guardian of Forever whisked her away to where she belonged. What if that place is directly tied to the old temporal Cold War threads? Picture it, Georgiou, trying to claw her way back into power, stumbles onto the remnants of Section 31's earliest operations. In doing so, she discovers the truth behind Future Guy's manipulations. Perhaps he wasn't a single man but a project, a code name for Section 31's clandestine time travel experiments. Or maybe Georgiou uncovers the face of Future Guy himself, a rogue Section 31 operative whose actions centuries earlier nearly destroyed the timeline. Suddenly, the Section 31 movie wouldn't just be Georgiou's spy thriller. It would be the long-awaited answer to Enterprise's greatest question: why the mystery still matters. Skeptics might argue that Enterprise ended 20 years ago, and the franchise has moved far beyond it. Does anyone really care about an unfinished mystery from a show that was canceled before its time? The answer is yes, because Star Trek has always thrived on its connective tissue. The franchise's enduring power lies in how every era builds upon the last, tying together stories across centuries and generations. when Strange New Worlds references Christopher Pike's eventual fate, or when Picard's Season 3 brought back the Next Generation crew for a final ride, fans cheer because the tapestry feels complete. The little threads that were once dangling finally get woven into the larger story. Resolving the temporal Cold War wouldn't just be fan service, it would validate Enterprise's role in the franchise's canon. It would retroactively strengthen Archer's adventures, showing that even the mysteries left unresolved for decades had a purpose. And for fans like me, who have been debating Future Guy's identity since the early 2000s, the payoff would be electric. The cinematic potential, from a storytelling perspective, folding Enterprise's unanswered mystery into the Section 31 movie offers enormous cinematic potential. Espionage meets time travel. A spy thriller is already ripe with paranoia, double crosses, and secret agendas. Add time manipulation into the mix, and you've got a story that constantly keeps both characters and audiences guessing. A moral mirror for Georgiou, Future Guy's manipulations could serve as a dark reflection of Georgiou herself. Both are power seekers who meddle with others' lives. By uncovering his true identity, Georgiou might be forced to confront her own choices and ask whether she's doomed to repeat them. High-stakes Federation history. Imagine a plot where Georgiou learns that if Section 31 had succeeded in its earliest experiments, the Federation might never have formed. Suddenly, this isn't just her personal story, it's the origin of Starfleet's greatest shadow. Legacy cameos. Tying the mystery to Enterprise opens the door for appearances or references to Jonathan Archer, Topple, or even Daniels, the temporal agent who fought to keep the timeline intact. Even archival footage or brief holographic files would thrill longtime fans. What we might actually get? Of course, there's every chance that the Section 31 movie won't touch the temporal Cold War at all. From what we know, the film is being billed as a self-contained spy thriller focused on Georgiou navigating the murky waters of Starfleet's Black Ops division. And that could still be excellent. Michelle Yeoh has the gravitas to command the screen, and Section 31 deserves its own spotlight. A tightly crafted cloak and dagger story set in the Star Trek universe has massive potential. But if the film plays it safe, if it avoids digging into Enterprise's dangling plot threads, I'll always feel like it missed a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Because no other upcoming Trek project is better positioned to revisit that mystery. Strange New Worlds is too early in the timeline. Picard has already wrapped. The movies remain stalled. Section 31, by its very nature, is the connective tissue between past and future. If it doesn't address Future Guy, the question may remain unanswered forever. Why fans deserve closure? Fans don't need every mystery solved. Some ambiguity can be powerful. But the temporal Cold War was never intended to be ambiguous. It was a major arc that was abandoned due to cancellation and studio interference.